everybody, it's Christine. Let's dive into a new video today for Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. I am going to be showing you how I put this layout together using their adhesives to make my job easier. So what I've done is I have taken these papers, and these all come from the December kit from the ScrapRoom. They are from Pebbles Christmas collection, and I have cut them into 1/2-inch strips, and then I am going to create a background. Now, I'm undecided at this point whether I'm going to use the negative space or the positive space, but I want to make a Christmas tree background. So you can see there I cut out a Christmas tree out of some scrap cardstock. The next thing I'm going to do is switch out my Easy Runner Grand and put in the Dots Repositionable refill, because I want to put these strips down, but I don't want them to be locked down. I want to put them down so that they'll stay in place and I can kind of figure out what my plan's going to be. This is a great way to work and a great adhesive to use when you're not exactly sure what direction you're going. In my mind, I thought, I can cut out a tree and it will look really good to use just the tree, but I also thought it might look really cool to have the background be striped and have the tree be solid. So I just didn't really know what direction I wanted to go. And so using this adhesive specifically to get things secure but not locked on there forever was a really good way to design, to plan, to figure things out. Sometimes we go into a project and we know exactly how we're going to go. Other times we don't, and this was one of those cases. So this was where I wanted to make use of that adhesive for it. So you can see I'm filling up an entire 12 by 12 cardstock sheet right now. And there's going to be a little bit of waste in the end. But ultimately, sometimes you have to waste a little bit of paper to get the desired effect. Especially with not knowing exactly what I was going to do. So now I'm going to add some of that, again, that repositionable adhesive right onto the back of the tree shape that I cut out. That way I can secure it on top before I start cutting. So here you can see I'm kind of formulating, do I want it to be a full piece of a tree or do I want to just use the background? And I still am kind of like, I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it out with my craft knife. And you can see I've just put a glass mat underneath myself so that I can cut it out. And I'm going to use a ruler also to make sure I get my edges on there nice and straight. The trickiest part at this point is just going over all of those strips of paper. So it's definitely not an even, nice, smooth way to go about cutting. So that was definitely a challenge. Now, the other thing you'll notice, and you're probably noticing it right now, is that my lines are not straight. I did not aim for my strips of paper to be straight. I aimed for them to be scattered. Now you can see I have decided to go with just the tree, and so I'm going to use that. But as I was looking at it up against a white background, I felt like I wanted a couple things. First of all, I did some doodle stitching in the background, scribble stitches, that's what we're calling them. These are really trendy right now in scrapbooking, just doing some messy stitching on your layouts. And so I just took some white thread and went at it with my sewing machine and just did scribble stitches all up and down to create some extra texture in my background. And then I'm also going to add in some red triangles that I cut out to be additional trees. And there you can see now I've got a really pretty background. Fair amount of work, but not anything crazy. And then now I'm going to start the embellishing process and adding my title and all that stuff. So for my title, I have cut out the word Christmas in this rustic brush script font, and it's a pain to add. Now I can use a dual tip glue pen, I could use my Easy Runner with the micro refill, but I recently saw the tip to use the dots refill, and so I'm going to use the permanent dots this time, and I just ran that all over the back of it, letting the extra dots just go onto the scrap paper. And it was the easiest way to add on to there. Now, the other ways I like the other adhesives for it, but I think this is the fastest and requires the least amount of focus to get it done. There's no chance of adhesive running over. There's no trying to stay right on the letters. I just went over it really fast. And I know it wasn't very long on the video. That shows you how fast it was, though. So great little tip there for you. Try those Easy Runner Grand Dots or the Easy Runner Dots to add adhesive to your small cut files like that, or your detailed cut files. Now I'm finishing things off, adding some stickers and ephemera and thickers. All of these came in the kit, whether it was in the Flavors of the Month kit or the embellishment kit. Just a really fun collection, very traditional, pretty patterns. The only non-traditional element, really, I would say, is that there's like an aqua color in there. But you can see I didn't actually bring it into this layout much, except for right there with that sticker. But all in all, I didn't use that a lot, not for no reason. It just didn't fit in at this point. But very pretty collection. And I do want to point out, I also have a planner video using this same collection. What I did is I took the rest of this layout and... or after I finished this layout, I went and did a planner spread so that I could use up more of the supplies so I wouldn't have quite so much left over. It's something I'd really like to use supplies up and not have them just hanging out. So I will link you to that video at the end here. Look for the little spot where you can click and you can go right to that planner video and see more with this Pebbles Christmas collection. So there you have it. Some unique adhesives, some ways that I used it on this fun Christmas layout with pictures. These pictures are me, my kids. We went to the zoo and we were taking silly selfies, and it was just a fun Christmas day together. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you again next time.